Chinese Communist Party delegation in Ethiopia says China is ready to collaborate with Ethiopia in fighting corruption. EU pledges 650 million euros to back Somalia's reconstruction plan. All of the main stories in this news edition. Hello, welcome to ETV News. I'm Shmal Islam. The Chinese Communist Party expressed readiness to collaborate with Ethiopia in the fight against corruption. The Chinese delegation held talks with Mukhtar Kedir, who is coordinator of Good Governance Affairs Reform Cluster with the rank of Deputy Prime Minister and also Civil Service Minister. Mukhtar on the occasion briefed the delegation about activities being undertaken to curb rent-seeking attitudes and corruption, the major bottlenecks in Ethiopia's economic growth. Deputy Commissioner of the Federal Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, for his part, said Ethiopia, being signatory to international declarations, is fighting corruption through making government officials register their assets and mobilizing the public. The Hao Hangzhu, head of the Chinese delegation and Central Committee member of the Chinese Communist Party, appreciated Ethiopian government for ratifying and implementing the right policies and strategies in leading the country towards prosperity. The delegation also expressed China's readiness to take the firm economic ties between the two countries further and work on ensuring good governance and a corruption-free environment. COMETSA, the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa region, said the economic significance of agriculture in the region is overshadowed by its low productivity due to less mechanized production, infrastructure challenge and dependency on rain-fed agriculture. Speaking on the 5th technical meeting of the Joint Committee on Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources, COMETSA Assistant Secretary General Ambassador Dr. Kipiego Cheluget said this has brought about food insecurity and slow development of agricultural industry in the region. Currently, the region is showing mixed food security development, with some countries registering increased crop and livestock production, while others are showing deficits. Planning and Program Director with the Ethiopian Ministry of Agriculture, Zena Habtewald, on his part said development of trade through micro, small and medium enterprises will create more opportunity for economic development and cooperation among member states. Agriculture represents more than 30% of the COMETSA region's GDP and provides livelihoods to about 80% of the total population. It accounts for 65% of foreign exchange earnings as well. The two-day meeting is being undertaken under the theme Enhancing Intra-COMETSA Trade through Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development. Over 10 million Ethiopians have gained access to potable water service in the just concluded budget year. The Minister of Water and Energy said the previous 58% clean water coverage of the country has now reached 68%. It said the plan for the past Ethiopian year was to give 7.5 million compatriots potable water service. But the government, in collaboration with donors, made it possible to reach more than 10 million people. Refurbishing existing ones and building new water sites cost 4.8 billion baht. The water coverage of the country is expected to be 98% in 2 years' time. Dredwa administration presented a favorable situation for investors interested to engage in the manufacturing sector. Investors in the city also revealed that their profitability is increasing from time to time. Sadat Mohammed Sani has more.
The private sector is among the focus area by the government in transforming the current agriculture-led economy into industry. Currently, investors in Dredwa deployed on different manufacturing area revealed that their profitability is rising from time to time. These investors are also indicating that the sector still has a huge potential to accommodate more investors to compete.
If more investors participated in this area, we can eliminate illegal traders, and it is also easy to manage the market. Besides, the existing manufacturing industry still did not meet the demand, so the market needs more investors. There are challenges, but if you manage to overcome those challenges, obviously the sector is profitable.
In the 2012 and 13 fiscal year, 161 investors licensed to invest in Redwa, and they are already started activities. According to Market System and Investment Bureau head of the city, Adam Farah, upon completion of these projects, more than 5,000 permanent and temporary job opportunities will be created for citizens. Adam added that the nomination of the city as an industry zone by the government is playing a great role in attracting investors.
As you know, the Minister of Industry has signed an agreement with the Chinese company to construct an industry zone in Redwa, so this will play a paramount role to attract potential investors.
Asad Ziad, mayor of the city, stated that the government is providing different incentives to support the investor. Asad also spoke about the fact that there is no problem concerning market linkage.
We expected to travel only 300 kilometers to reach Djibouti. Within short distance, the investors can access Zia and Barbara ports, so this can minimize transport cost.
The mayor added that the city is convenient for investors interested to engage in different manufacturing areas.
A mother in the southern region of Ethiopia gave birth to her second child 24 days after her first delivery. The incident has taken even medical professionals by surprise. Asnaka Chabeba, who went to a health station to give birth without knowing she was pregnant with twins, gave birth to her first child weighing 2.4 kilograms. She then returned home with her one child, as no one knew there was another baby that had yet to be delivered. Surprisingly, after 24 days, it was time to bore her second child as she returned to the health station. There, she gave birth to another baby weighing 3.2 kilograms. Health professionals say Asnakach had two separate pregnancies around the same time. They also said it would have been possible to detect the situation using an ultrasound. Fortunately, the mother and her two babies are now in good health. Ethiopia will face Nigeria in a two-leg playoff to represent Africa at the 2014 World Cup. This was revealed on Monday in a draw that took place at the headquarters of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, in Cairo. Accordingly, the first match will be played at Addis Ababa Stadium in October, while the second will be held in Nigeria in November. The winner will be among the 5 teams representing Africa at the 2014 World Cup. The draw also revealed that Cote d'Ivoire is paired with Senegal, Tunisia with Cameroon, Ghana with Egypt, and Burkina Faso with Algeria. The 2014 World Cup games are due to be held from June the 12th to the July the 13th in Brazil. Watching the news coming to you from the English News Desk. Now passing on to a couple of international news items. Mogadishu residents welcome a European Union pledge for an additional 650 million euros in aid on Monday to back a 3-year reconstruction plan aimed at building on fragile security improvements in the country. Here is Rahel Teklihanis with more from Voices.
Somalia is walking the long path to recovery, turning its back on a destructive past that saw the Horn of Africa nation dragged through 22 years of civil war, bloodshed and famine. And as efforts to rebuild continue, the country received a boost towards reconstruction on Monday when the European Union pledged an additional 650 million euros in aid over a 3-year rebuilding plan and improving security in the country during the New Deal for Somalia conference in Brussels. The EU has previously pledged 1.2 billion euros for Somalia between 2008 and 2013. It has also launched several missions to help Somalia strengthen its security, including a counter-piracy force and a mission to train the Somali military. In the nation's capital, new buildings transform the skyline and businesses continue to mushroom across the city. Many Somalis in the diaspora are returning home to help rebuild their country and bringing much-needed income to fuel the economy. Ahmed Jama is one such expat who came back 2 years ago from London to set up a chain of seafood restaurants in the capital.
When I opened the restaurant, he said, the guy, what he's doing, is he crazy? Is he kind of, something wrong with the guys? And then after they realize it's somewhere they can have families, friends, and when it's being out on a local TV, international, and wider Somalia and watch out, everyone have a hope. Say, yes, he done it, you go back too. And that's the only reason I feel like they're going to take it on me.
The country's relative peace is giving confidence to both foreign and domestic investors, largely thanks to continued efforts to secure the country from the Al-Qaeda-linked extremist group Al-Shabaab. Somalia plunged into 2 decades of civil war and lawlessness after the overthrow of President Siad Barre in 1991. But donors have seen signs of stabilization since the African Union's peacekeeping troops helped drive Islamist Al-Shabaab rebels out of Mogadishu and many other strongholds in central and southern Somalia. The terrorist group still poses a threat to Somalia's fragile security and guarded hope, though progress is being made under the 1-year-old federal government led by President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. The New Deal for Somalia hopes to set out a clear political vision of inclusiveness among various federal states in the country, with elections planned for 2016. It will look into ways of improving Somalia's internal security, which has deteriorated over the last few months, as well as defend its territorial waters. The conference also hopes to set economic and developmental goals with the establishment of financial systems that can be held accountable for generating and managing the country's revenue. The New Deal was created in 2011 by the G7, a coalition of 19 countries that have experienced conflict in the recent past.